Hi guys, today is February 25th, 2020. Futures are up a little bit after yesterday's huge sell-off. And here are your top picks and top movers for long and short term. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the like button, and write me some comments. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so let's start with SPY. That's the ETF for S&P 500. So SPY is bouncing. Yesterday I told you that there is support level at $322.66. So it's closed yesterday at $322.42. So just below the support level, but it's bouncing back a little bit. I'm not sure if this is a good time to jump in. I would wait a little bit because this thing can turn on a dime, because I want to see the confirmation of the up move. But in general, there's a gap that it needs to fill a little bit here. So let's see. I mean, don't jump all at once in this. See where it trades in the morning, and then you can try to pick up some stocks. Okay, so in the corporate world, let's start with stocks that are moving. Moderna, symbol MRNA. Okay, Moderna reported that they shipped the first batch of vaccine for their first phase 1 human testing. Okay, so that's really good news, and the stock is jumping like 15% or so. I'm not sure if I'm buying immediately Moderna on this. I mean, if you're holding it, that's fine. Actually, I would sell some covered calls on this news if you're holding shares. Because I mean, this is still a long story. I mean, it's not like they're gonna ship this vaccine immediately to China and start treating people. I mean, it will take time. The vaccine has to go through clinical studies, and it will be available probably at the end of the year. So Moderna is up a little bit, but I'm not jumping with my hands up. Okay, so in the same news, I mean, not in the same news, but in the news of treating coronavirus, Vir Biotechnology, another stock that I've been recommending, that's up a little bit, like a buck or so pre-market, because they reported collaboration with WuXi Biotech. Okay, it's a Chinese company, and under this agreement, WuXi, if they develop a vaccine, WuXi is going to distribute it in China, and Vir Biotechnology can distribute everywhere else. Not so fantastic agreement in terms of Vir, but still it's pretty good, because WuXi can help Vir a lot in to cut through the regulation in China and to popularize this vaccine for Vir Biotechnology. If I'm buying this stock or not, probably not, but I will be watching it for further developments. Okay, and other news, Macy's reported not so bad numbers. I mean, they're pretty good numbers, but they already pre-reported that they're closing stores, and pretty much inline numbers, good solid holiday sales. The only reason I'm buying Macys is their yield, or dividend yield. They're paying about 9.77% yield. That's huge yield, okay? But in general, as an investment, I wouldn't I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're a yield-hungry investor, yes, I would buy Macy's, but in general, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, but on the positive side, NIO. Okay, finally, good news for NIO. Okay, NIO reported that they have entered in the agreement with the Hefei province, or city of Hefei, to move their headquarters there, and Hefei will provide them with $1.42 billion financing. That's really good news for NIO, and because they were really cash strapped, and I was worried. I'm a shareholder, and I was worried about NIO, to tell you the truth. And they're jumping pre-market on this news, and don't forget that the JAC Motors, their manufacturer, is also in Hefei city, located there. So That's a good synergy to have a headquarters there and to have your manufacturer facilities there. So NIO is jumping pretty significantly pre-market, like for $5.25. I would let it settle a little bit because it's not. I mean, the agreement was there, but I want to see the details of this agreement. Okay, this is really good news, but I want to see the details of this. If you're jumping in on the stock, okay, so I would wait a little bit for further developments. Because $5.25 is a bit too high. I want to see where it trades during the day. Okay, speaking of electric vehicles, Tesla is always in the news for some reason, and Tesla reported. Tesla didn't report anything. The analysts downgraded Tesla. Jeffries, another bull that Tesla just lost. Because this Jeffries analyst was really bullish on Tesla just 6 months ago, but now he downgrades the stock to equivalent of hold pretty much, as far as I understand them, but at the same time they're raising price target from $600 or approximately $600 to $800. That's pretty weird to me. So the truth, when you downgrade the stock and they raise the price target, that's significant. But that's Tesla, and nothing surprises me about Tesla. Okay, in terms of a stock, I mean, Tesla is not in a bad position here. Okay, so it's up pre-market, and I think it's going to trade higher. So it's a good swing trade for those who are risk lovers and want to take a chance on Tesla. Okay. Speaking of risk lovers, there are some Chinese companies that bouncing back, like Luckin Coffee and ATHM. Okay, Baba. Okay, all the stocks, Baidu, all these Chinese stocks are bouncing back this morning, but I would wait a little bit and fade that bounce, at the open, and see where they trade in the afternoon for a swing trade if you're trading it. Okay, in general, for a long-term investment, I consider only Baba to be a good investment for a long term. Okay. Speaking of long term, okay, MU was downgraded this morning. I don't know what that downgrade was about. I really didn't understand the downgrade. I mean, I have to read the analyst note more carefully, but at the first sight, I didn't get it. Okay, but the MU is trading down pre-market, and in my opinion, it's pretty good buy. Okay, and other chip manufacturer stocks are also up. Not down, but up pre-market, such as AMAT, Applied Materials, and that's really good buy in general. Reported really good earnings, and I think it's a really good pickup here. NVidia came down a lot. As you can see, it reported spectacular earnings last time, went up to $316 and crashed down to $273. Pretty good pickup in this area. And AMD was down significantly lately. I mean, it went up all the way to $59 just recently and crashed down to $49. I mean, I think it's a good pickup in general. Okay, and on these news, Apple. Okay, Apple. I told you that Apple is good buy. I think under $300, and close to $300 is also not so bad. Okay. So that's a good long-term pickup, and I actually like more than Apple. I like Skyworks Solutions at $111. It's a very good buy long-term. Okay. Also, I like Universal Display Corporation. Okay, they reported not so hot earnings, but not so bad. I mean, they dropped a lot. So I think low 160s, high 150s is a pretty good pickup for this stock. Universal Display Corporation, symbol OLED. Okay, another stock that's moving this morning is Virgin Galactic. Virgin Galactic is expected to report earnings after market. Very hot stock. I'm not going there because I think it's way too high. RSI is still very high. I mean, it can jump on earnings after hours. They're reporting after hours today, symbol SPCE, by the way. But I'm not jumping in because it can just as well fall down. Okay, so SPCE is that. MNK, Mallinckrodt, that's a small stock. Mallinckrodt, it's been in use a few years ago because short seller Andrew left was shorting the stock at $50, and he was right. I mean, the stock is like $4.17 right now, but they had a lot of scandals before, but they reported that they have settled with opioid. They have an opioid settlement, and they reported pretty good numbers. So, I mean, as a swing trade, I would consider it. It's opening a lot higher, but if it opens around 550 area, maybe I would be interested to pick up the stock for a swing trade. Okay, and I like also Inmode. Inmode reported really good numbers last time, but came down huge a lot. And I mean, it's a really good pickup area for Inmode in general. Okay, and there's not so hot news. Palo Alto Networks reported pretty bad earnings. If it's under $200, I would buy it. SHAK reported really bad earnings, and I wouldn't consider it for an investment. But on a positive news, Home Depot, very good long-term hold, and they reported pretty good earnings, and THC, I like the earnings as well. Okay, guys, this is it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the like button. I'll see you tomorrow.